Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, as you can see by this playmat, which if you're familiar with my channel, I've had for a very long time, and it's one of my favorite playmats. We have the Akiza Judge playmat on here. Now, as you guys probably also know, Akiza is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character, next to Seto Kaiba. She's my Yu-Gi-Oh waifu, if that's a thing. But it inspired me finally to build a deck around her. Now, this is not an anime-based deck. It's not one of those type of decks that uses strictly cards from the anime. No, it's not like that. This is a competitively viable deck that you could take to locals, maybe top with it, and just have a lot of good fun with it. Okay. Now, Dandelion is banned, so the deck did get hurt a little bit when I was trying to build it. But, alas, the deck still firms well. It's a Synchro Link Spam deck. That's what this deck does. It Synchro summons, and it can easily go for Blackrose Dragon, so it's a going second deck, but it can also go first, but mainly going second because you can easily Blackrose the field, blow it up, and then go for your combo plays. That's the way the deck works. So overall it's pretty good, but it's pretty much a callback to Akiza, so you're going to see cards that revolve around Blackrose Dragon being her ace monster, but they don't hinder the deck in no way. They all have a purpose, the cards do. So like I said, it's competitively viable, but I based this deck off my love for Akiza. So, yep. So first off, you got your 3 Lone Fire Blossom. Now, I'm so happy Lone Fire has been back at 3 for a while. It's such a great card. I used to play plants way back in the day, back when Lone Fire was originally at 3, and then it went to 1 of. So I love this card. Mostly, I know a lot of people like Lone Fire into Lone Fire, going into Lone Fire, which you can do. But you don't want to do that with this deck because you want to use Lone Fire, the 1 Lone Fire, go off with it. If you top deck another Lone Fire, it can just set you off to go into other cards in your deck. So while you could go Lone Fire, Lone Fire, Lone Fire, I don't suggest that. Next we got 3 Carrot Man with the World Heavyweight Champion. Now you could run 2 to 3 of this, or 1 I've even seen people run. Personally, I like 3 of it because it's a good card in the deck to have, and I always want to see it in my hand, or I want to have it in the graveyard as soon as possible. And plus it's a 19 beat stick, which has won me games because I'll have like a Boral Sword on the field, and then I bring back Carrot Man, and then I do damage and I win the game that way. So it does sometimes come in handy for just putting in that extra little damage. It does play a factor because I can bring it back by pitching a plant from my hand, besides Carrot Man. So that's all great. So pretty much Carrot Man is a 19 beater. If he's in the graveyard, you can pitch a plant monster from your hand to revive Carrot Man. So that's how he works. Very good card. You can't pitch Carrot Man to bring out Carrot Man, which sucks, but still, he's a really good card, and you want to run him as a 2 of or 3 of in the deck. Now this is a card that a lot of people do not run in their plant-based decks, and I understand why. We saw this card in Metaphos before Master Duel 4 came out, but it really is good in this deck, and I'll explain why. Sometimes you draw cards where you draw a lot of cards that you're like, I don't need these right now in this deck. And a Baboon can reset your cards. So say I have Lone Fire in my hand and I draw a card that I want to Lone Fire off into, okay? I can use Baboon on the field to put that card back in the deck and make my Lone Fire live for the play I want to do maybe next turn or this turn currently. Depending upon the situation, mind you. Especially if I can revive the Lone Fire from my graveyard with Monster Reborn or something of that nature, if he's already in my graveyard. So Baboon fixes your bad hands and makes them better, and makes your good hands better as well. That's what Baboon does. It's really good in the deck. The fact that he's a level 3 does play a factor, because if he's on the field and you have another card, which is called Twilight Rose Knight, you can go into level 6. You can go into Coral Dragon, which can help you pitch dead plants out of your hand to pop a card on the field, and then when Coral Dragon dies, you draw a card. So overall, it's very good. It also can set up for another Synchro monster, which we'll talk about later when I get to the extra deck, which is a good generic kind of plant Synchro monster, which wins me games when I go into time. But this card really is good. Sometimes I do Lone Fire off into him, or I just normal summon him, or I revive him, so I get that effect if I have a card I don't want in my hand. So Baboon fixes hands, and it really is so good in this deck. So try it out. If you don't like it, that's fine, but Baboon is a plant. It's a dark. I wish it was an earth, but it does help out a lot. Next, we run a card that really is helpful for the deck. It's one of your main ways for going for Blackrose Dragon. And it's also just another way it's a searchable target to help go into Blackrose Dragon. So Twilight Rose Knight is a warrior dark monster, which is nice, and it's a level 3 tuner. So what you can do is you can go, it's like a Marauding Captain pretty much. You normal summon, you bring out Balbaboon. Balbaboon's effect kicks off. You get to fix your hand. Then you can go into Twilight Rose Knight, and then you can go off that way. Or you can go Twilight Rose Knight, normal summon, bring out Carrot Man, Blackrose Dragon. If you have another plant in graveyard, another plant in hand, pitch the plant from hand, bring out Carrot Man, and then continue on with combo plays after you've blown up the field. Another card you can go into, which we'll talk about more, is you can go into Lone Fire Blossom, because you can go into Twilight Rose Knight, Lone Fire Blossom, Lone Fire Blossom's effect, bring out whatever you really want to go for. So if Carrot Man, your deck thinning by the way, Carrot Man, there's just so many cards you can use off with Lone Fire to do this play. And you can go for Blackrose Dragon, you can go things of that nature. So overall, it's a really good card. It's searchable through Rhoda, which is the reason I like it so much in the deck. But it's a very good card to have as a 3-of, and it's one of your main tuners and your main ways to go into Blackrose Dragon. Next we run 2 Marauding Captain. Now, you could run Goblinberg. I'm going to say that right now. You can run Goblinberg if you want to. But because of being able to go for level 6s and being able to go for level 7s fairly easily, Marauding Captain's paying off a little bit more than those other cards. I'm just saying that. You could run other cards out there, but Marauding Captain is really paying off in this deck from playtesting. There are other plant monsters you could run. I am testing them out, but Marauding Captain is putting in work right now in this deck because I can go Marauding Captain, Balbaboon, go for a link play afterwards, or you could go for level 3 Exceed if you wanted to run that as well. Marauding Captain, a level Lone Fire, which is awesome. I can go Marauding Captain, Lone Fire, and that can lead up to synchro plays right off the bat like that. So Marauding Captain is just another enabler for the deck that is searchable. Next we have 2 Blue Rose Dragon. Now you don't have to run this card. You could run one of this, but I really like 2 of it because it's such a good card to just extend your plays. So Blue Rose Dragon, if you guys don't know, works with Blackrose Dragon. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, which is the reason I even run the card. If it was just destroyed by battle, I wouldn't run the card. But when it's destroyed and goes to the graveyard, I get to reborn a Blackrose Dragon from my graveyard. So I get to actually have Blackrose on the field and just not nuke the board. So really, really good card as a 1-of or 2-of. And the fact that you go for Blackrose Dragon so much in the deck, this card becomes much more better because of that reason. So yeah, you can try it out as a 1-of or a 2-of, but try it out because it's really a good card to have in the deck. And the fact that you can just bring Blackrose Dragon back and do combo plays, that's fine. Now let's go into the 1-of plants that I run. I run 1 Cactus Bouncer. Now the fact that Cactus Bouncer can't be special summoned does suck, but this card is really good because you can set up boards where maybe you have Carrot Man and Grave, and you pitch another plant out of your hand, reborn the Carrot Man, you haven't committed to your normal summon yet, and you just normal summon Cactus Bouncer and just pass. And they can't special summon. Neither one of you can special summon, and Cactus Bouncer's on the field. It's a good card to have. Try it out. It works out fairly well. We run 1 Angel Trumpeter. This is a Lone Fire target. It's another way to get out a level 4 tuner because you have level 3s, you have level 1s with Glow Up Bulb and Spore, but a level 4 tuner does come into play, and sometimes you'll draw this, and that's when I like using Balbaboon to put this back into the deck most of the time, so I can Lone Fire it out and get something better off Balbaboon maybe. So 1 Angel Trumpeter, it's a really good card. 1 Rose Lover, you can bring this out through 1-for-1. You can bring it out through different means. You can pitch it from your hand to the graveyard and banish it to get another special summon that's turn. And you could run 2 of this if you wanted to, but I like 1 of it. It's a really good card. I wish it was a tuner. If it was a level 1 tuner, it would be so much better. I remember when this card came out, I was like, oh, I wish it was a level 1 tuner. But good card, nonetheless. You can try it. There's Rose Paladin I think you could run in the deck, but that's up to you to decide if you want to run that card or not. But Rose Lover as a 1-of is really staple in the deck, and it's a beautiful card. But yeah, also the cool thing is with Omega, because you can go with 4 Omega fairly easily, especially with Angel Trumpeter. What you can do is you can put this back after you banish it. You can add it back to your graveyard to banish it again to get another special summon with Omega's effect. So you can abuse this card sometimes. One Spore, you guys know what Spore does. Very good card as a 1-of in the deck. One Glow Up Bulb, and I would put Dandelion here if I actually had it, but it's on the ban list currently. So Glow Up Bulb and Spore is your other cards you run as your 1-of plants. So that's the plant engine. That's the main engines of the deck. So let's get into the rest of the hand traps. We run 2 Ash. You could run 3 Ash because Ash is getting reprinted soon, and 2 Drill and Lock for your Goki matchup. You can run this, or you can run a Ghost Ogre. You could run Ghost Bell. You could run whatever fits your fancy. If you want to run Solemn Warning and Solemn Judgment, go right ahead. But these are just pretty much your hand traps I run. Drill and Lock is good, but you can run Ghost Ogre, up to you. I know people are going back to playing Ghost Ogre instead of Drill and Lock, but I'm playing it because Goki's is just rampant where I'm at the moment of me making this video. But yes, hand traps. Or you can run Effect Veiler. Next we run 3 Miracle Fertilizer. This is a staple. You can run this as a 2-of or 3-of. I like it 3-of because there's a lot of times where I'm just like, you know what? It's better, especially with Scapegoat, which I run in the deck. It's better sometimes I just do them in normal summon. I just Reborn a Lone Fire and just go off with Scapegoat and just cream my opponent's clock. So 1 Miracle Fertilizer. 3 Miracle Fertilizer is so good in this deck. It's your pretty much Plant Reborn card. Now this card is a card that people really don't know how this works, and from playtesting, this is such a good card right now. So, Mark of the Rose. You banish 1 plant monster from your graveyard to steal one of your opponent's monsters for that turn, but at the end of the turn, it goes back to your opponent. Alright, you may say, well, this is like a bad snatch and steal type of card. Okay, why are you running it? Do you forget, my good friends, that we are actually in link format? And we need a way to break a board, right? Mark of the Rose helps you do that. Your opponent has a powerful monster, all right? Or a monster you can help break their board to get around problematic things. You steal that monster, okay? And then you go into your own link play combos. Or if they're just a regular monster on the field, maybe you go for a synchro play. But most of the time, you're stealing their monster to go into a link play. That's what you're using it for. So think of it as snatch and steal to go into a link monster. That's generically catered to run in a plant deck. I like it as a 2-of. 3-of is too much, but it's a card that if I'm going second, which this deck is a going second deck, once I have a plant in graveyard, I can just be like, Mark of the Rose, hey, give me that monster, okay? Now I'm just going to go off and do a link play, go into Bore a Load, Bore Sword, whatever have you, and just go off through that means. So, yeah, pretty good card to have for cracking boards in 2018. Next up we run 3 Scapegoat. Now Scapegoat could get hit, it could go to 1-of, it could get a 2-of, it could get banned. I don't know. All I know is at the time of me making this video in early August 2018, Scapegoat is not banned. Okay? So because of that reason, we run 3 of it. If it went to 2-of, that's fine. Run 2 of it. But you run as many as you can because this is a link spam synchro deck. So yeah, this is one of your main ways to go into your synchro plays. Well, your synchro plays and exceed plays. Guess we used to use Scapegoat back in the day to go for synchro plays, which I still do from time to time. 1 Upstart Goblin, 1 Rhoda, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Soul Charge, 1 1-for-1, as well as 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Regeki. So let's go over all this. Soul Charge and Monster Reborn. It's a plant deck. Soul Charge, if you have a lot of plants in grave, that's game. You're building a board that your opponent's going to have a hard time getting around. Monster Reborn. Bring back Lone Fire. What can I say? Rhoda. You have targets for Rhoda. You have Twilight, Rose Knight, and Marauding Captain. Deck thinning. Upstart Goblin. Draw power. 1-for-1. Spore. Glow Up Bulb. Rose Lover. The list goes on. Foolish Burial. Send your plant monsters to grave to get their effects off in grave. And Regeki. Clear the dang board. Simple as that. So, that is the main deck. We have no traps, because we have hand traps, actually. But let's now go into the extra deck. We have our beautiful Akiza token. This was made by Amanda LaPalme. I have the matte, but I want to use the Judge matte that I've had forever. So let's go over this. We have the beautiful Blackrose Dragon, the ultimate rare that I picked up not too long ago. I've had forever. It's such a beautiful card. I love it. I picked it up again. It used to belong to me, bought it again. I'm so happy. I sold my other one years ago, but I picked up a new one. You run 2 Blackrose Dragon because you go for Blackrose so easily in this deck. You could run it as a 1-of, but I prefer 2-of because I go for it so much. 1 Moonlight Rose Dragon for the matchup. For different matchups, it's a good card. 1 Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. You probably can't tell this Ghost Rare, but this is Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. So those are your level 7s you run. You don't run anything else, but you can use these cards to help go up into Crystal Wing. So say you went for Moonlight or Clear Wing. You can easily link up into Crystal Wing. Or if you use Blackrose's effect to reborn it, like I said with Blue Rose Dragon, I reborn my Black Rose. I can use Glow Up Bulb, I can use Spore, I can use other cards to help go into Crystal Wing very, very easily. So, we'll talk about that in a second. For your level 6s, we run 1 Coral Dragon and 1 Splendid Rose, which is actually a really good card in this deck because you run plants. Otherwise, I would never run this card, but Splendid Rose is really good in this deck because we run plant monsters. We run for your level 8s, Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, good level 8, and Omega, which is a good card as well. And like I said, you can abuse it in the deck. Sometimes I've actually banished a card I wanted to off Omega for Mark of the Rose to actually get that card and put it back in my graveyard. So you can, there's multiple ways you can use this effect. And 1 Crystal Wing, which I said you can use the level 7s with your level 1 tuners to go into Crystal Wing super, super, super easily. And the fact that you have so many Reborn cards in the deck, it's super easy to do. So you can easily make a Crystal Wing like that. For your Link monsters, you could run either Double Link Karibo or Double Link Spider. This is to help go off with your Scapegoats. We run 1 Link Karibo. You could run either Double Link Karibo or Double Link Spider. Up to you guys out there what you want to do. But you want some Link 1 markers. We also run 1 Mrs. Radiant. 1 card I was thinking about running in the deck as well, which sometimes comes into play, but you can try it out. I'm not running this currently. Is Lanaphorlincus that just came out of the structure deck. You could run this in the extra deck if you wanted to as well. We run also Borreload and Bull's Sword. These help crack boards. They one out the other. They're the main extra deck monsters that we run in 2018, and you can easily make them super easy, so you run them. And then we have my Field Center, my other waifu cards, my waifu. And then we have my waifu cards, as I call them. Yeah, my waifu cards, my things that I use for Scapegoats. So yeah, that's where we run as well in the deck. So yeah, I love this deck. It is such a fun deck to play. I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. It's just such a fun freaking deck to play, man. Like, it's something I've been wanting to build for so long. And I finally got the chance to build it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go Akiza. And till next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this deck profile. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.
Nights, long fights,